welcome to another DCU Daily. We are here, we are back, and we are actually doing our promised video of today with Fancast Friday, even though it was not poll selected with the recent news of the exclusive that Brainiac is definitely appearing in the next Superman film, Man of Tomorrow, Superman film. We decided that we are going to do Brainiac again. However, before we get to that, we got to get into DCU Daily, and we have a couple things for you. We got a ton of things for you, actually. So sit back, relax, and have a drink, because we're in for a fun time today. Obviously, we are going to be talking about not just DCU stuff, but we are going to be talking about Star Trek. A little bit of Star Trek, because maybe a Star Trek 4 is coming back in a new way. In addition to box office projections, it is Friday, so we're going to be talking about the most up-to-date box office projections, as well as previews from yesterday. And speaking of box office for this week, we are going to be getting into a movie review today, guys, because I saw The Running Man today, and I got to let you guys know about it, so here we are. And then not the only movie talk news, we're going to be getting into The Odyssey, and then a little bit of TV talk tomfoolery, I guess, with the newest trailer for Fallout Season 2. So there is that. And then, of course, we get into our quick hits and then our DC news. And then we will jump over to Fancast Fridays for a new stream, and we'll talk about Brainiac. But until then, we are going to be getting into that news intro and getting into the news.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. And you're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
You look ridiculous. Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Let's get into the news, guys. Let's get into all of the news. I am, of course, your host, Johnny. Nice. Don't call me Johnny. Nobody calls me Johnny, except for my sister. She's the only one that can call me Johnny. But, John, nice to see you guys. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's get into it. And we are going to be having tons of news. And the first bit of news, of course, is going to be Star Trek related. But before we get into that, we are going to be getting into people in the chat. Hi, Tony. Hi, Enterprising. Hi, Caleb. We will know my thoughts on The Running Man. Is it oof or is it not to oof? That is the question, and I'll be getting into that soon enough. Of course, Monique Rupley letting us know their wonderful dinner, which is making me hungry. So, God damn it, Monique. I mean, we appreciate you leaving your meals, but damn, it makes me hungry. Wish I had the same thing. But thank you for all the early people in the chat. The quadfecta of people in the chat right now. But let's talk about Star Trek, of course. Unfortunately, Dan is not here to talk Star Trek. He's on dog duty today. So let's get into it. So it seems like that there is going to be another Star Trek movie, not Star Trek 4. It seems like we're going to just stick the Chris Pine continuity Kelvin timeline into its own thing. And Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, who are no strangers to IP, as they have covered both the Vacation franchise, the Spider-Man franchise, and a whole bunch of other things. And Game Night is another one that's good of theirs. So they are going to be the ones tasked with rebooting Star Trek for Paramount. Now, with Paramount now, being bought out by Skydance and possibly WB on the horizon, they are probably going to be getting into all the IPs they own, and it's going to be a lot of them. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about continuity. I don't mind it because the thing is, there's so many people passed on from that I mean, Anton Yelchin, Leonard Nimoy, those were big parts of those movies. So I think a reboot works. It's necessary. Star Trek Beyond, it ended on a high note. That was the best out of the three. So I think I would say, if I don't know, I would say bring Justin Lin back, but but I think he did surprisingly a really good job, and Simon Pegg did a great job writing. But with all of this, apparently sources tell Deadline that the duo are coming on to write, produce, and are attached to direct a new original Star Trek film for Paramount. They will produce it under their Gold Bay banner. So I mean, Dungeons and Dragons, that was another IP. I mean, kind of IP, not really like movie IP. There have been like 3 or 4 movies, but they were all mainly direct to video, except for Honor Among Thieves, which unfortunately didn't really do that well. It was an okay movie. I think it was a little overrated, but it was still pretty good. Yeah. I think these guys, they could give us something new. I don't know what the hell it would be. I don't know if it would just be like a reboot of the originals, the original series, like the Chris Pine one was, or if it would be a reboot of like TNG, Voyager. It would be like a recasted crew, or it would just take place in that world. I mean, we haven't really seen the world proper post Voyager outside of like some of the garbo that we've gotten in the TV shows. So obviously we will see, but I think it would be interesting to have a movie crew, because think about it. All the movies we've gotten, the big movies, it's either the Shat crew from the original series, that um or it's the Picard crew, it's the TNG crew, or it's a rebooted version of the original series. Okay, fine. I think it would be interesting to just have a movie crew. Like maybe they can interact in the TV shows, kind of like what they did with like Lower Decks, and just get the Jack Quaid and whoever voices the other character, and have them in like Strange New Worlds, and just like have them interact, and kind of like what DC is doing, having the animated voice actors be the same if they translate to live action. So I think it would be really interesting to just have a movie crew. Um, you know, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. But I think obviously it doesn't have to be just, like another crew going on beyond the stars, blah blah blah. It could just be it could be like something totally different, like a colony or something. Whatever it is, I think they could do a good job. They've been hit or miss. They have some really good movies, like with Game Night, um, and some of the Spider-Man movies they've done. I mean, I think they did the last one. I think they did No Way Home, but because that was the only good Spider-Man MCU movie. But then and they also did Honor Among Thieves, but then they've also done some crap. So yeah, I mean, they did do that Vacation movie. So obviously we'll see. I'm kind of excited for this. I've never been the biggest Star Trek fan. I've always wanted to, like, ever since I watched the movies. I've seen almost all of the good Star Trek movies. Like I've seen the trilogy of 2, 3, and 4. I've seen Undiscovered Country. I've seen First Contact, and then I've seen the new movies. So, so I think, exactly. I don't think you can. I think he's just too iconic, but obviously they could try. Um, I just think like just have like a movie crew. I think that would be really interesting. Because I don't know, just like having just a totally separate crew, like kind of like what you're doing for all these TV shows, but just having it for the movies. So, in addition to that, I think what would be great about that is because again, you're not feeling like you're doing homework, because that's the thing that's kind of not that's like the thing that's kind of not doing well for the MCU is like people don't want to do homework. Oh, I have to watch 3 TV shows and a miniseries to figure out the new movie. No, just have a movie crew. Just have they either they appear in like cameos or are mentioned in the TV shows, but no, or just like have them totally separate because I think that is a fair point. That is a fair point. But I think I think it would be really interesting to just have a movie crew because again, the homework argument is front and center nowadays, and I think these guys have proven well with that they can do good stuff with all this. So, I think I mean again, I hope it's good. I want it to be good. I mean, they did in terms of directorial stuff, they did do the crappy vacation movie. They did do Game Night, which was great, and then they did Dungeons and Dragons. They tried to do the story for the Flash, but then that never went anywhere. Um, but yeah, I mean, hit and miss with film. So obviously, we'll see. We're just gonna have to wait and see how it is. I hope it's good. I just hope it's good. Yeah, I mean, they could try. I don't think that they'll do it, but they could try. I mean, Benjamin Sisko, I mean, the actor is, hold on, I gotta think of it. Oh, Avery Brooks. I mean, he's still alive. He still looks good. So, like, why not just use him? I think that would work. Yeah, I mean, I liked Star Trek Beyond. Thank you, Monique. A little bit too late, but I like Star Trek Beyond. I think that was the best because that felt the most like an episode from the show, but like a modernization. So I think whatever their ideas are, I think we will get something good. Like at the very least, fun. Again, more like what like the early like Star Trek could be, or they could do something a little bit more meat on the bones. We'll see. But again, as I said, their writing has been kind of off the wall. It kind of goes from bad to good to bad to good to bad to good. So they're not the most trustworthy guys, but I've liked some of their stuff. So yeah, I hope it works. It was. The only thing was like the villain was kind of forgettable, but that's like kind of adds to the charm of it because that's what it was like with the show. A lot of the villains were forgettable. So I don't know. I just think personally that works. So, you know, but yeah, that's it for the major news, I should say. The biggest news story we have, but that's not it for the news. Because as I said, we're going to be talking about box office projections, and the box office projections is good for the time being because Now You See Me 3 slightly, ever so slightly beat Running Man with $0.2 million. Now You See Me, Now You Don't made 2.1 million in previews, while The Running Man only made 1.9 million. However, the showing I was just at filled to the brim with people. Filled. The only seats that weren't filled were all in the front row. So it just I think people are so stark, but yeah, I mean, they filled it to the brim. Obviously, we'll just have to wait for more projections, but my friend's brother did go see Now You See Me, Now You Don't. He said it was okay, not great. But yeah, Now You See Me 3 doing pretty well for itself. But both movies are on track to beat last week's box office champion because that's usually the case. Usually there's the second week drop off. I think the second week drop off was negative 60% for Badlands. That was the projection. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see if those numbers are correct. But yeah, so it seems like the generic Fast and Furious meets Magicians movie did a better job than a Stephen King adaptation. But who knows how it will do with the projections, but with this, apparently they're weaving magic with a 20 million plus opening for the Friday box office. So Now You See Me Now You Don't, which is pulling a rabbit out of its hat with a 20 million to 24 million start after an estimated $7.5 million Friday today. That includes 2.1 million in previews. It is probably, it has a good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and all that stuff. So with that, Predator Badlands and Running Man are looking about 15 million a piece. Obviously, we don't have an audience score for the Running Man just yet. We do have a critic score for the Running Man. But if Badlands reaches 15%, that means it's a 63% decline for a 10-day cume. But yeah, so Running Man, the projections are kind of all over the place. I think Deadline yesterday, when we were talking about this, they said the projection was for Running Man was about 20 million. The Empire City Online, or wherever the hell it was, said it was about 17 to 18 million, but now it looks like it's the mid-teens. It looks like about 15 million. But Sisu 2, nobody really cares about that one, unfortunately, and I think that's coming out much later. Is that coming out this week? No, it's coming out next week. It's not coming out this week. That's what I thought. But yeah, congrats to Now You See Me 3, I guess. I didn't realize people were actually enjoying these movies. I just remember like everyone was, when the first one came out, the twist was like, oh my God, that twist was so fucking stupid. And then like that was the only thing it was known for. Now You See Me 2 just came and went, nobody cared. And then now this is coming out much, much later. So, I mean, good for them. I have never been interested in this franchise. It always looked kind of dumb to me. But like, cool. I get. Yeah, Sisu Road to Revenge. It's coming out next week. There has been no fanfare for this. I think I got one trailer when I went to go see Nuremberg the other day. I think that time, and then one other time is when I saw a Sisu 2 trailer. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I hope it's good. The first one was fine, but a little disappointing. I expected more, but this looks like a lot of fun, going from killing Nazis to killing commies. Boom, perfect. Love to see it. So, I mean, sure, I guess, but yeah. However, speaking of the Running Man, we are going to get into movie talk madness properly and talk about the Running Man. So anyway, so let's get that music going, because we're gonna run, boys. We're running. We're running with one power. And we're running. So, based on the Stephen King novel from 1982. In 1982, when he under the Richard Bachman pen name, this is a little film that stars Glenn Powell, Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo, Michael Cera, and plenty of others that aren't coming to my mind right now. But this was the last big Stephen King adaptation this year after The Monkey, Life of Chuck, and Long Walk. Now, I would say these were all pretty strong movies. The Monkey was a shit ton of fun, a great horror comedy, and very out of the ordinary for Osgood Perkins. Then you had Life of Chuck, was a very beautiful movie about like life and, being human, and like the beauty of humanity and the beauty of a life despite being taken away so quickly. And the way that Mike Flanagan did it was very, very interesting. And then you had The Long Walk, which was like, if Life of Chuck was the best of humanity, Long Walk was the worst, showcasing the brutality and fucked up nature of the walk itself, and all of the actors doing a brilliant job, and one of the best movies I've seen all year. So all three of those films were extremely excellent. Does The Running Man fit into the pantheon of Stephen King greatness this year? And unlike the critics, I would have to agree. I absolutely adored The Running Man. The critics can go fucking kick rocks, because I had an absolute blast with Edgar Wright's The Running Man. This was Edgar Wright's white whale for at least 8 years, because a tweet resurfaced years ago. If somebody asked him, like, hey, if you had a chance to remake anything, what would you remake? And he's like, The Running Man. So Edgar Wright finally got his passion project off the ground with a readaptation of the Stephen King novel of the same name. So with that, I thought this was phenomenal. I don't think it's Edgar Wright's best work. I think Hot Fuzz, The World's End, and Baby Driver were all better. However, it is leaps and bounds ahead of his last film back in 2021, which was Last Night in Soho, which was very, very disappointing. Probably Edgar Wright's worst movie that I've seen. It's better than Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's better than Shaun of the Dead. And I think that's it. I haven't seen anything else. I thought this was a wonderful little movie. Because I think it's an important movie in a way, especially with that ending. And to spoil book readers, no, they did not do the book ending, because for a fact they couldn't get away with that. So, I thought a lot of people say that this is tonally inconsistent. I don't agree. I thought it was tonally okay. Like, it didn't seem jarring going from more serious acts to more like action heavy acts, because I felt this movie was very character driven. You feel for Ben Richards. He's a guy that's stuck in a dystopia where he can't do anything, and he's not the greatest man in control of his emotions, but he is a good man who's willing to actually fight for the people when necessary. And even though he doesn't want to be the spark of a revolution, he decides to, I might as well be. But I feel like that was a good character arc for him. I thought it worked very well. I thought Glenn Powell did do a great job. He's endlessly charismatic. Say what you will about Glenn Powell. Some people like him, some people hate him. But I thought he was very good in this movie, and I think he is definitely fits into an up-and-coming star. And he's not up-and-coming anymore. He came in. He is in. He is a star now. I think this movie, despite the fact it's probably unfortunately going to bomb, I think he definitely has the star power and an illustrious career ahead of him. So, also, hello, Steven. Fistful of Fingers, I have not seen, but it's on the list. All of it's great. Here's the thing, I have seen some complaints about the ending. I can see that, because you could tell that they they really wanted to do the ending, but they couldn't get away with it, especially with a big studio backing it. I imagine if this was like a British production, they could have gotten away with it, but the fact it's an American production, they couldn't get away with it. Hello, Kyle, nice to see you. So I thought good character arcs. I thought Josh Brolin was a great piece of shit. Usually he plays a great villain, unless he's purple skinned with a chin like a ball sack, but Josh Brolin was absolutely phenomenal here. Great villain. Richard Dawson was the original Killian, and I thought that was perfect. But I think with the character that they do here, they did a great job with it. I'll let you know soon after I'm done with my review. But Coleman Domingo was fun as the host, Bobby T. Just Coleman Domingo just rocking it as usual. The man knows how to fucking take over a room, and he did it very well. Baby Driver is probably my favorite, although unfortunately it has not aged well because Kevin Spacey is in it. But overall, still a phenomenal movie. Brolin was indeed very hateable. He's such a fucking grade A prick in this movie. You do have smaller roles from the Please Don't Destroy crew. You had that guy in there, and then Katie O'Brien as the other runners, so that was nice to see. William H. Macy was also in it. He had a very small role, but he was very good. However, speaking of Michael Cera, it is safe to say that Michael Cera has stole the movie. Even though his part was not huge, he undoubtedly stole this fucking movie. He was so endlessly funny. He was weird. He was zany. He was the most Edgar Wright character in an Edgar Wright movie. Like, this guy was just perfect. And it shows that Michael Cera can act. Like, I know a lot of people make fun of him. Like, oh, he's just like the weird, socially awkward guy that like Jesse Eisenberg was kind of in for a while. But no, it shows that this dude, he's funny. He's just so great. He's just so great. Yeah, I wish you got more time with him. If there's any deleted scenes with him, I want to see them because he was so fucking funny in the movie. Even my dad, who isn't really aware of Michael Cera, that he like does not like he doesn't know who he is, but he's just not like hasn't seen a lot of his movies, and even he was like, oh my god, he was the best part of this movie. He was so funny. Like, both times, like, something happens to Michael Cera, it's like, no, not Michael Cera, and it just goes to show like how great he was in this movie. Also, hello Nelson, nice to see you. I get that. To me, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel Edgar Wright-y enough, but I feel like with this project and the last project with Last Night in Soho, I think he's kind of tearing away from that Edgar Wright-ness, and he's trying to break out of the mold and trying different things, because he mostly did comedy movies for the most part, and then Last Night in Soho was a horror movie. Then this was an action thriller, so it like kind of worked. And also, you guys can vote for the next tier list Tuesday, because I think WB Suitors is just not gonna happen. But I thought the movie was great. I thought it was an overall thrilling movie. It is like the epitome of a perfect popcorn movie, entertaining as hell, but I also feel that the social commentary is very important in this day and age, and I think it's kind of like, even if it's not the greatest movie ever, I think, and there's Arnold right there in his cameo on the money. I thought that was great. But I think it's a popcorn movie with a little bit more than just popcorn, if that makes sense. Because I think there's a lot to say about society. It doesn't always hit the ground running, pun intended, but it does do a lot more than just, oh, it's just a guy running away from a villain type thing. So I will, oh God, the Dolby poster, the F4DX posters, all of these are so much better. This is, where did I put that? I'll have to try and grab that. Anyway, because I did get this poster at the theater. That was awesome. I would have to grab that in between takes, but I really enjoyed it. Like, there's not much to say about it. It's just like, it's very enjoyable, but it has a little bit more bite to it. I really liked the ending. I really liked, the overall, like, going through the motions kind of thing. But overall, I thought it was very well done. Well, I mean, but it's like actually good. That's the thing, unlike Brave New World. Yeah, so, but yeah, The Running Man was a hell of a lot of fun, and I recommend it. I'd probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was so fun, but it makes you think a little bit, and it showcases that there are certain things that are important in this day and age that need to be discussed, and I very much appreciated that. So I'll just say this to end my. It's 64, which was the original score. Then it went down. Now it's gone back up. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten a lot of verified ratings yet, but most of them seem to be pretty positive in the 3.5s to 5 ones. A couple bad reviews here and there, but for the most part, very good. But yeah, good stuff. And to end my review on The Running Man, Richard's lives. Hell yeah. But yeah, that's it. Awesome. So, also to answer Caleb's question, what was the ending of the book? So, spoilers for the book of The Running Man. The book actually ends with Ben Richards dying by driving the plane into the skyscraper. So essentially what was described in the movie actually happens. So, and the thing is, running an airplane into a skyscraper, yeah, you just can't get away with that anymore. So, yeah. Oops, you can't do that anymore. So, yeah. I thought they were gonna do it, but they didn't actually do it. I was like, oh, do they have the balls to do it? No, they don't. But that's okay. I understand it. Like, you can't get away with that in this day and age. So, that's neither here nor there. But yeah. Next up in the movie talk madness realm, we are going to be talking about the Odyssey. Because who doesn't want to talk about Christopher Nolan? God knows Dan wants to talk about it endlessly. But the Odyssey stills reveal first official look at Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, and Mia Goth's characters. Mia Goth also on a roll, being in Frankenstein, now being in the Odyssey. So can't wait to see her in that. But I mean, yeah, nothing's as bad as the second to last chapter of It, but But I thought it was no. I mean, the movie is kind of political, but the Odyssey does look really good. So let's look at some of these stills. Here's our boy Tom Holland as Telemachus, aka Odysseus's son. Then here we have Anne Hathaway and then Mia Goth with somehow even less eyebrows. Anne Hathaway, God. Man, it takes a lot to uglify Anne Hathaway, but you finally managed to do it. Goddamn. But these are looking good. Empire released these for next year's film. So Hathaway will star as Odysseus's wife, and Goth will star as Melantho. But yeah, we're getting more and more stills from this, and these first look images definitely look really fucking cool. So hell yeah. But that's not the only thing. We also have some behind the scenes images. We got Nolan and his favorite IMAX cameras here. So, Christopher Nolan had this to say: it was electrifying. We never would have been able to get those shots before because of using the IMAX cameras. So, yeah. Awesome. Absolutely wonderful. Can't wait to see it. And this looks like it'll definitely be an epic for the age, especially with the 2 million feet of movie. So, but that makes sense because an average movie is about 500,000 feet of footage. And that's like the average for like IMAX, like 70 millimeter, which is what they used here. So I can imagine that, that's going to be 4 average movies in one, and cutting everything out, it'll probably get down to like 1 million feet of footage roughly. So, well, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 2026, of course. Yeah, movie of the year. Yeah. So awesome. Well, I just did. We will always remind you because fuck you, that has to exist. I know it, so everyone else has to fucking know it. So fuck you. But yeah. Odyssey. Absolutely love to see it, and these images are great. Then we get the final bit of movie talk madness, more TV talk tomfoolery, but Fallout. season 2 has gotten an official trailer, and the hit series is set to premiere its sophomore season on December 17th, so about a month away. So this was great to see. We got a whole bunch of shots of all of the stuff going on in New Vegas, as well as, got stuff of the Ghoul, got stuff of, we did see Macaulay Culkin's character. He is reportedly going to play Caesar or a character related to Caesar, but that's, just kind of rumor mill, not reported. Sorry, I used the wrong term. Rumored to be Caesar, because I've seen a lot of fans say, oh, he might be Caesar. So, yeah, that looks awesome. But yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. I never watched season 1. I've heard it was like surprisingly good. Kumail Nanjiani is also going to be in this season, so that's great. But Ella Purnell, Walton Goggins, Kyle MacLachlan, all these other characters are returning to their season 1 roles. So very exciting for Fallout fans. You guys finally got a good adaptation. Coming from the brother of Christopher Nolan, Jonathan Nolan. So, that's good to see. And Lisa Joy, they teamed up on Westworld, so they're doing this together. I don't think he wrote anything. I think he's just executively producing. So, yeah, I'll take it. Seeing Macaulay Culkin in this makes me want to go back and watch season 1 just to see Macaulay Culkin, because like that man is going through such a brilliant renaissance that I'm here for it. I am here for it. We stan Macaulay Culkin in this household. Yeah, I know, crazy. Actually respecting the source bit. Crazy, guys, crazy. The Nolans are winning. The Nolans are indeed winning. The series is worth seeing for that alone. Yeah. But yeah, awesome stuff. Great to see it. But guys, we got to get something. We got to get it. Oh. But first thing is Disney and YouTube TV reach carriage deal, ending 15-day standoff. So the thing we were talking about yesterday, like offering Disney customers like $20 credit and whatnot, but they have finally reached a deal after the Disney blackout on YouTube TV because of insert greedy reason here. It ended. So if you have YouTube TV, you can watch Disney stuff now. Yay. Next up, Elmo wants to be the king of the pirates in cute Netflix One Piece audition. So Elmo has Monkey D. Luffy, Cookie Monster as Anthony Bridgerton. Watch these leaked audition tapes and the new episodes of Sesame Street now playing on Netflix and PBS Kids. So very cute, very as well as Grover's tryout for Spoonie. So it's just, Sesame Street puppets being puppets. Like, who doesn't love to see it? Who doesn't love goddamn Sesame Street? Like, come on. Why are you hating on Elmo? What the fuck did Elmo ever do to you? Fucking goddamn. Who the fuck doesn't like Elmo? What fucking asshole do you have to be to not like Elmo? Elmo was my G. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, he was the GOAT. He is the GOAT. The fuck you mean? Elmo's cool. No, I won't rest, because there is Elmo slander in this fucking household. If you wanna have that slander, fucking go to Big Bird, goddammit. Fuck Big Bird. Big Bird's a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I love Big Bird. But like, I'm disappointed in you, Tony. I'm disappointed in you. Bullshit. Elmo's a G. Elmo is the GOAT. You know what? Fuck you. We don't stand for Elmo slander in this household. Shame for shame. Anyway, Elmo is amazing, and he's amazing as Luffy. So, you know, Luffy, whatever it is. But, yeah, this was cute. Because Sesame Street's awesome, and so is motherfucking Elmo. Elmo's goddamn G. Anyway. Apparently there's a Labubu movie in the works, guys, because of course it is, because Sony's catching on these trends and they got to do it. They got to bite the bullet before, like, it happens like Angry Birds when they make a movie that's 10 years too late and then nobody gives a fuck about it. Nobody remembers the origin of Angry Birds. They just know it as movies now, so, you know. I never watched Fraggle Rock as a kid. If Liz were here, he'd talk about how great Fraggle Rock is. So, you know. Characters like Brainiac, is it going to be else, or could you do? I have no fucking clue. I remember when they announced like Skibbity Toilet by Michael Bay, and Michael Bay had to come in on Instagram. He's like, "I'm not fucking working on Skibbity Toilet. Get the fuck out of here." But that was funny. So yeah, the ugly toy, it's like Furbies, it's like Beanie Babies, it's like all that shit. New name, different name, same shit. Like, oh, okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that later, Tony. But yeah, don't care. While talking about Now You See Me 3, Ruben Fleischer teased at a possible threequel for Zombieland. But he was also talking about Mission Impossible a little bit. But apparently, you know, he tried to get that Zombieland double tap off the ground for a while. There was a TV show that was going to be something. It was a TV pilot, never went anywhere. But yeah, apparently he hopes that a Zombieland 3 will come out around the time of 2029, which is 20 years after the first one. So after Double Tap kind of failed, I mean, I liked it, I enjoyed it. It's not the greatest thing ever, but like, I enjoyed for what it is, but most people didn't like it. So I say just kind of, you know, move on. You tried it, brought it all back, but like everyone's like super famous now, much older. I don't think it like works all that well. So, you know, yeah, I mean, it would be fun if they made it work, but if you can't, then don't even try. But yeah. Next up is Keeper. Rotten Tomatoes score revealed as Osgood Perkins' latest gets mixed reviews. Unlike The Monkey and Longlegs, apparently the Rotten Tomatoes score has lifted, and it's apparently at a rotten 40%, but has since risen to a far more respectable 62%. So, you know, it's still not great, but, you know, it's still okay. A lot of people called it a misfire and the worst movie yet. They said it was a confusing, nonsensical plot with an ending that doesn't deliver the answers audiences were expecting, but it does have a creepy atmosphere and striking visuals, and Tatiana Maslany's lead performance was praised. But yeah, I've heard a couple people say that it's not very good. A friend of mine saw it, said it was very boring. It had a creepy, you know, atmosphere to it, as the review said, but he said overall it was kind of boring. The characters were flat and it was not terribly interesting. So I'm still going to be seeing this either hopefully tomorrow or Monday. But you know, yeah. If honestly, like, you think James Gunn doesn't get sleep? Nah, Osgood Perkins, he gets even less sleep. Because I think he has another movie coming out like in like a year, I think. So, you know. But yeah, I'm still gonna go see it anyway because I do love Osgood Perkins. Next up, Apple makes Pluribus Characters' Blood Song of Wakaro book available for download. So apparently, for Pluribus, the new hit Apple TV Plus show from Vince Gilligan starring Rhea Seehorn, apparently her character's book in the show is available for download. So if you guys want to read that, then cool. It's it's not like a full book, but the download features an 11-page chapter excerpt from the fourth book in the saga and an exclusive letter from Carol. So it's not like an actual book, but it's just like something that invites people to talk. So that's cool, I guess. But I do plan to watch this soon. It looks really good. Next up, Wicked One Wonderful Night becomes NBC's second most watched special of the year so far. Good for them. With it shows that the love for Wicked is still there, and Wicked for Good, aka Wicked Part 2, the preferable title, is going to be another hit for the Wicked franchise. So maybe it'll bring about possible sequels that are, you know, sequels to the original book, like Son of a Witch and all that stuff. So here's to the movie. Like, I liked the first one, didn't love it, but hopefully the sequel's better. Speaking of hoping the sequel is better, Avatar Fire and Ash poster released, and James Cameron hints at a major plot development. Apparently there are spoilers. So, you know, in terms of in regards to the villainous Colonel Miles Quaritch, aka Quidditch, he's undergoing an identity crisis. His interest in the biological son of his biological precursor form is all about trying to define: am I a completely new person? Am I bound by the rules and the behaviors of this person whose memories and personality I was imprinted with? It's a true existential dilemma for him in the philosophical sense. He could connect, he could plug in. Jake wants him to. I don't want to tell you where it goes, but we're going to see all this play out because Jake would rather have this guy on his side, considering that, you know, he is technically an avatar now. So this is the newest poster coming out December 19th. It's showcasing the air nomad tribes, because this totally isn't ripping off Avatar: The Last Airbender, James. But and of course we see a little bit more from Empire's still images here, and then a little bit of an exclusive look on Monday Night Football and more. So yeah, I hope the movie's good. I'm not gonna fucking hold my breath, but cool. Anyway, Take My Money. The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson comments on Adam Driver's scrapped Hunt for Ben Solo movie. So he had this to say: "Take my money. I only know what I read about it online. I didn't know anything about it, but who knows how things are developed these days. But man, I will watch Driver in anything, but I would love to see him play that character again." This comes off as surface level, which is understandable, but, you know, one of the few times Rian Johnson is right about something, because I would have loved to see this, because it sounded good, especially have Steven Soderbergh fucking behind it and Adam Driver, but they're like, no, we can't see it working because he comes back to life. It's like, motherfuckers, you brought fucking back Darth Sidious. The fuck you mean? The fuck you fucking mean? You brought back Palpatine. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, we don't know how to bring a character back. You literally ruined Anakin's development throughout the first 6 fucking movies by bringing back Palpatine. Fuck you. Yeah, because they don't like good ideas, unless it's like by Tony Gilroy, apparently. Fucking losers. Anyway, speaking of fucking losers, All's Fair debuts among top 15 U.S. streaming shows during its premiere week, Luminate reports. So yeah, to all you motherfuckers hate watching the show, now y'all are probably going to get a season 2 of this garbage, while actually great shows like 1899 will never get off the ground. Yes, I know they're by 2 different streaming services, one Hulu, one Netflix, but still, fuck you. You're going to hate watch this into another season of existence, and we're probably going to have to fucking hear about it again, and more of terrible fucking Kardashian acting, which, not going to lie, I did very much appreciate in The Running Man. That was great. Yeah, hate watching. And Caleb, stop hate watching. Yes, thank you, Caleb. Stop fucking. If you are going to hate watch, pirate it, so you don't get the fucking numbers and we don't get a fucking another season of this shit and we don't have to fucking hear about it again. God damn. Fucking stupid fucks. Hate watching a show is essentially you're watching a show, but you don't enjoy watching it. You're watching it purely to buy into the rage that everyone else is feeling, so you can give your own thoughts and make posts about it and essentially be angry. Like, hate watching is you watch it, but you don't like watching it. And buying into the hate. Velma actually didn't get a season 2 because of hate watching. It was already greenlit before season 1 aired, so it's not because it was like a cheaper animation thing where you greenlight 2 seasons instead of 1, or like an episode count, because again, it's like a cheaper thing. I don't get it, but like that's what happened. It did not get hate watched into existence, so it is dumb as hell, Tony, because why watch a show you don't like? Crazy, because I remember I was watching Mad Men. Like, we're like, what's the deal with this show? Like, it was like 4 or 5. I think it was ended by that point. Like, hey, my family was like, what's the deal with the show? I watched like 5 episodes. I'm like, I don't get it. And then I stopped watching because it sucked. So, exactly. It won't get you into the haters, Paul. Yeah. Watch it, like it, or you don't. Exactly. But people are dumb. Anyway. Speaking of not dumb people, Nicolas Cage. Well, he's a little dumb with his money, but that's beside the point. Nicolas Cage says this person is the best actor he's ever worked with, even apparently surpassing Meryl Streep. Apparently working on The Carpenter's Son, which is the new movie all about Jesus, in a very different way. But in regards to an actor he worked on The Carpenter's Son, he said this: listen, I can't think of a better actor that I've worked with, and I include Meryl Streep in that group. And apparently it is the actress who plays Satan in the film, named Isla Johnston. He says, I think that she's going to be one of the most luminary stars in cinema. I know she's playing Joan of Arc, which is perfect. So, yeah. Interesting. So we'll see. Apparently he also said this: she has that 1,000-yard stare in her eyes that looks like she's looking right through you and into the epicenter of your creation and your DNA, Cage says with a laugh. I mean, it's wild. So if she's that great, then I hope she has an illustrious career ahead of her. So it does. That's why I'm intrigued. That unfortunately it has FKA Twigs in it, which the last time she was in a major motion picture was not good, so we'll see. But next up, apparently AC/DC shook Melbourne so hard earthquake detectors picked it up. The band's Australian Power Up Tour kickoff registered on a seismograph at a local research center. So it just goes to show that AC/DC still fucking rocks. So that's awesome. Interesting. I have not seen either movies. I have Last Temptation of Christ on Blu-ray or DVD. So it's on my list. I gotta watch it, but I have not seen The Messenger either. But yeah, hell yeah. Anyway, Melbourne was indeed thunderstruck. So hell yeah. It's fine. It's fine. We know what you're saying. But yeah. Speaking of horror, though, new Pennywise revealed first terrifying look at the clown in It Welcome to Derry. So yeah, this is what he looks like. Pretty much the same from the movies. Looks creepy. Looks cool. Can't wait to watch it when I get caught up. Awesome. Next up, Benedict Cumberbatch is reportedly becoming more involved in the development of Doctor Strange 3. He is said to be looking for a new writer and director. One of the people he's interested in is Sam Mendes. I don't think Sam Mendes is going to come near this franchise. But ironically that Caleb name dropped Sam Raimi, because it's like, why the fuck wouldn't you want to work with Sam Raimi again? Hello, it's Sam Raimi. I understand Multiverse of Madness, not very good, but that's not his fault. It was a fucking piece of shit, right? Look for a new writer. Don't look for a new director. If Sam Raimi wants to come back, fucking bring him back. The fucking MCU needs life like fucking Sam Raimi. Jesus Christ. Fuck that shit. Bruh, Pennywise can pimp slap Art the Clown into a fucking new dimension. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I have heard nothing but great things, so yeah. But like, come on, get the fucking Pennywise is literally an entity that is older than the fucking universe, that is the embodiment of all terrible things and chaos in said universe. don't fucking come at me with a comparison between him and fucking Art the motherfucking Clown. Get out of here. Yeah, even Tim Curry's Pennywise is better than Art the Clown. And Tim Curry's Pennywise fucking sucked. There, I said it. I love Tim Curry. He was terrible, though. He wasn't even scary. Get the fuck out of here. But even he pimp slaps fucking Art. Art the Clown is Bozo's bitch. Let's get that perfectly clear. Fuck Art the Clown. Fuck that bitch. Fuck Damian Leone, too. Loser. Anyway. But we have more cute things from David Corenswet and, Nicholas Hoult lying about height. How maybe he lied about being shorter. Maybe Nicholas Hoult lied about being taller. It's like, oh, here we go. Here David Corenswet is suffering from success. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's not against you, Tony. I hate Terrifier. Like this, I watched Terrifier 2 and it was like the most mid thing I've ever seen in my life. And the first movie is just like torture porn. I tried to watch it and I just couldn't finish it. I've heard good things about Terrifier 3, but it's just like, it's one of those franchises that's like trying so hard to be like a horror franchise, but it just, to me, like fails. It's just trying too hard. And it's just like Art the Clown is just so overrated. He doesn't even come close to the pantheon of great horror legends. Like it's not even close. God, I hate Art the Clown. Like nothing against the actor, nothing really against Damian Leone either. It's just like, it's just so try hard. It's like if Zack Snyder tried to make a horror icon. That's what it feels like to me. So thank you, Caleb. At least somebody is finally somebody who speaks English. Anyway, Pennywise. Well, not it depends on who. It depends on what version it is. You do have the Tim Curry version, which was not higher budget, and you also had the Indian version. I forget what that version was called, but you had an Indian adaptation of it from like the late 90s. I think I would have to look that up. But yeah, cute little thing from Variety Fair or Vanity Fair here. So cool. Also, we have this thing from Elle Fanning and the guy who plays Deck from Predator. Why? I feel like I need an adult after watching this. I love Elle Fanning. I like the guy who played Deck, but like, ew. This is cringy as fuck. Anyway. Speaking of Mad Men, Mad Men fulfills its prestige TV destiny as part of the HBO Max catalog. The Lionsgate series for AMC joins the likes of The Sopranos and The Wire. So congrats to Mad Men. Again, as I literally just said, I tried to watch a show, couldn't get into it, but as we know. Did Caleb stutter, bitch? I couldn't get into Devil's Rejects, but Sid Haig is a legend, so that's okay. Yeah, Predator Badlands, a lot of fun. I like Dead Internet Theory. Yeah. Yeah, Badlands. If I had to choose between Badlands and Running Man, I'd say Running Man was the better movie, but I really like Badlands. But yeah, way to go, Mad Men. Final bit of quick hits. Marvel Comics announces Daredevil relaunch with new creative team as Matt Murdock goes back to school. Apparently, Saladin Ahmed recently wrapped his Daredevil run while making Matt a man of the cloth and pitting him against the 7 Deadly Sins was a solid idea. The execution was widely deemed a disappointment by many fans. Next, it's down to writer Stephanie Phillips and artist Lee Garbutt to take over the Man Without Fear in 2026. So, following in the footsteps of legendary creative teams from the title's esteemed history, Phillips and Garbutt set out to redefine Daredevil for a new age, a fresh start that's perfect for newcomers and longtime fans alike. The new run sees Matt Murdock confront unprecedented challenges both in his personal life as Matt Murdock and on the dangerous streets of Hell's Kitchen as Daredevil. Matt will go back to school, taking on a new role as a law professor, just as a new supervillain named Omen emerges with a mysterious vendetta against his superhero alter ego. So, very cool. If you guys are interested, go pick it up. If you're not, then you're not. I'm gonna try and read more Daredevil because I love the character and I've read quite a bit of him and I want to read more. But I've been terrible with my comics reading, so yeah, literally, it's not just like, oh, he's going back to school. No, he's pulling a 12th Doctor by going and being a professor at a school. So that's kind of cool. Do you read Sutter Kane? Anyway. Nope, not a metaphor. He literally is going back to school. He's pulling a Rodney Dangerfield, kind of, sort of. Anyway, but yeah, that's cool. And that's the end of the quick hits. So let's turn off that music. There we go. But thanks for watching this side of the news. And then we are going to get into quick hits. Or next, we're going to get into DCU Daily after quick hits. And then after that, we are going to be getting into Fancast Friday, which is essentially redoing Brainiac for the news that just happened recently. But remember, guys, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, make sure to click the notification bell so you know when we go live. But we have a little bit of DCU Daily, not a ton of DC news, but we'll get there when we get there. And be blessed.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all in the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka, hunka.
Also, by the way, found that Running Man poster I was talking about. Look at this thing. Look how cool this is. And plus, it's a nice thicker consistency than like a sheet of paper. But yeah, looks cool. I'll try to find a place for it. I don't know if I can, but I'll try because this is a really cool poster. So, Anyway, so I wanted to show that to you guys. Anyway, welcome to DCU Daily. Welcome back. Here we are. I am, of course, your host, John. Lovely to see. Let's get into the DC news. Not a ton today, as I said. Also, hello, Hosea. Lovely to see you. Nice poster. Thank you, Movie Spud. Yes, I'm not Dan. I'm not going to put the Seth Rogen laugh in. Beautiful. Also, honka honka. But let's get into the DC news proper. Hang on a sec. Let me just pull this up real quick. And yeah, so Estonia attracts major post-production projects like The Penguin, thanks to healthy rebate, Emmy-winning talent, and expanding facilities. Anyway. But apparently, according to this article right here, the country of Estonia has been solidifying itself as a key destination for international productions in the Baltics, country alongside with neighboring Latvia and Lithuania, not Latveria, first introduced filming incentives about a decade ago, with Estonia setting itself apart from many competitors with a 30% cash rebate targeting post-production. Notable projects to hold post-production in the country include Christopher Nolan's epic Tenet and HBO's The Penguin, which earned an Emmy for Estonia's leading company, Frost FX. So it seems like Estonia is on the up and up, and it's attracting more and more projects. So honestly, good for them. Whatever gets you on the map and whatever helps you with your economy, then boom, there we go. Not Romania, Estonia, very different. Talking about mixing the flavors. Congrats to them. But I love whatever's good, whatever's best. I love to see it. So, Yeah, I don't really know if there's a lot to say about this one because I just uh it's just the country kind of celebrating, hey, we're offering a tax rebate, we're doing a lot of good stuff. So that's good. Who knows if you know, they're gonna go back to that. DC is gonna go back to that. I would assume they're going back if there is a Penguin season 2, but maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, good for them. Very cool. But next up, apparently, Frank Grillo reveals that Man of Tomorrow will have filming locations in both Atlanta and the UK because we did talk about way back then when that they're whoa, I can't talk. That they're building at DC Studios was building like a studio space in the UK. So yeah, and he'll be involved in filming for roughly 10 weeks. And we did talk about this yesterday that he said my character, Rick Flag Sr., is a big part of the sequel story. So I'm excited about it. So this is essentially more about that. This is more about what was talked about yesterday. Oh, that's cool. Remember, don't bother them. Never bother celebrities because they're people and they probably don't want to fucking talk to you while they're eating. Ozzy Cobby, yes. Um, but yeah, so way to go for Frank Grillo. Love to see it. So I'm curious how if he's filming for 10 weeks, that's pretty much about a little bit more than 2 months of work. About 2.5 months, a little bit longer. So yeah. Good for him, I guess. The human meta human hater. Yeah. Honestly, I'm curious. I mean, obviously, there's probably gonna be a big thing because Lex now he's like kind of teaming up with Lex Luthor, so there is going to be something with that, and then Lex Luthor eventually teaming up with Superman, and then all three of them teaming up. So I assume that's like the big role. It's like going to be the trifecta between Grillo, Luthor, and Superman. So I'm curious. She took pics with staff, was friendly. We are super nice, Kenny. Well, unless it's war, because half of the Geneva conventions exist because of you guys. So Canadians can be nice, but not during wartime. Anyway, um, redemption from a production side of you, but not in terms of character arcs because he just got worse. Don't become less bitch. What? I don't know what you're trying to say. But yeah, way to go, Frank Grillo. We love to see it. And then finally, the big thing that we're going to be talking about today for Fancast Friday is, in fact, Brainiac. We did talk about the rap exclusive from yesterday. Oh, yeah, we're definitely confirming that, yeah, we talked with James Gunn and he said to our rinky dink little rag that, yeah, Brainiac is confirmed, even though it showed no mention in the fucking article that he was 110% confirmed to be the villain of the movie, but everyone is going along with it. And apparently there is a short list for Brainiac, and we're going to be getting into that now. I mean, nobody, but like Canadians are very fucked up. Like it's like, oh, nice. But like Canadians are like have some of the most fucked up torturous shit in wartime ever. Goddamn. They also give us Ryan Reynolds and knowing, yeah, and Justin Bieber. Don't forget that. I think some agent told them Brainiac is the villain so they can get their client hired. Yeah, honestly, that would be a good theory. But here we have apparently the short list. So this is all hearsay. This is all bullshit. Again, none of this is confirmed because God knows the rap didn't confirm it. Just claimed that it was an exclusive. So we have this to say. So here we have Grace Randolph, who, James Gunn fucking hates, notoriously. She was the first to share news that David Hyde Pierce, Wallace Shawn, and Clace Bang were all possibly in the mix. However, even though Grace Randolph is bullshit and James Gunn has said so multiple times, Nexus Point News' Apocalypse Horseman has revealed, I can confirm I heard Clay Spang too, but there's a handful of others who are going to be tested, so it's undecided. So yeah, it's now Apoc Horseman also isn't the greatest in terms of that, even though he is part of Nexus Point News, which is pretty good. They have a decent track record. They have proven themselves to be good with like proving the Lantern stuff, right? So, you know, yeah, but since yeah, so this is the tweet he tweeted. So yeah. And then this goes back to James Gunn with speculation. Listen, of course, I wasn't aware that when I posted the cover of the script that there was going to be discussion around that particular topic, but I think we'll hold off from what is actually happening. So obviously we'll never know. We don't know for the time being until James Gunn decides to say it. But they had this to say. Bang is a talented actor who has played some despicable characters throughout his career. Look no further than Apple TV's Bad Sisters. However, this continues an interesting trend in the DCU of Gunn looking at actors to play these heroes and villains who are not A-list. Is it a cost-cutting measure, or is the DC Studios co-CEO simply seeking the right people for the job and relying on the characters themselves to sell tickets? Both could be true. We'll see what happens, but Gunn testing actors is likely how the Wrap managed to confirm that Brainiac is the big bad of Man of Tomorrow. Hopefully, this means we can expect official casting news before the end of the year. Unlikely. But yeah, I don't really totally 100% believe this. All right, keep your secrets. But yeah, again, I don't totally. First off, it's Grace Randolph and Apoc Horseman. They're scoopers. They are not known for being truthful. One would dare say Grace Randolph is kind of a moron, but you know, it's all hearsay. I don't believe the Wrap. I don't believe Grace Randolph, and I don't believe Apoc Horseman. So, guys, I think we found a Superman. Anyway, I gotta fly. I gotta fly in my spaceship, guys. Anyway, but in terms of these guys, I think David Hyde Pierce, he's a little old. He could do a good job. Wallace Shawn, fuck no. That's like Ilya Salkind wanting Richard Pryor to be Brainiac back when Brainiac was still considered for Superman 3. That is some bullshit. I like Wallace Shawn. He's great. Not as fucking Brainiac. Hell no. Clay Spang, though. I like that. I like that a lot. So we are obviously, yes, inconceivable. I knew fucking somebody was going to say it. Beat everyone to the punch, Tony. But yeah, this shortlist is an interesting one. Very different actors, but obviously we will be getting into that for DCU Daily, which is going, or for Fancast Friday, which is going to be happening soon. Because, guys, that's it for DCU Daily. I know, probably the shortest DCU Daily in existence, but don't worry. We're going to be carrying the DC talk from this to Fancast Friday. So don't you guys worry. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to be doing it. So don't worry. I was trying to be kind of nice, but correct. I want the Brainiac villain news to be true so bad. Wallace Shawn, yeah. Jeff Snyder said perhaps Oscar Isaac. I don't know. He was an awful, but he is a great actor. He's a great actor. Yes, that Wallace Shawn, as in inconceivable Wallace Shawn. Yeah. But again, we're going to be talking about this later. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. We are going to be going into Fancast Friday. Don't worry. Just give me about a couple of minutes, maybe like about 10 minutes. And then we are going to be having a lot of fun with a new Brainiac Fancast. Some returning names, some not. So we'll see. But yes, join us for Fancast Fridays next. And thanks for watching, guys. Love and appreciate all of you. And remember, hashtag blessed at the beginning, but also hashtag blessed at the end. See you soon for Fancast Friday.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you really I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it, I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you wanna shine. Follow my lead, don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka!
Not only fuck Jeff Snyder, but fuck Grace Randolph, fuck APOC Horseman, and fuck the rap. See you later, guys.